98% of the people in this room are in the 98%, not the 2%. But I can say that in any room. Of the 7.5 billion people on the planet, maybe 500,000 people are capable of doing this.
You have 2 times to make a first impression. First is how you look. Second is when you open your mouth. So you've got really 2 times to make a first impression.
The odds are there's at least 2 or 3 billionaires in this room to be. But would those 2 or 3 make the sacrifices necessary? Find something you love. Find something that can change 1 billion lives. Zuckerberg is a classic example. He changed more than 1 billion lives. Added value change, you make 1 billion lives better, potentially. You may not get to 1 billion people, but potentially you can make 1 billion lives better, and the odds have just gone geometrically up for you to become a billionaire. And if not a billionaire, a whole bunch of money.
The world today is, political correctness, back to your original question, is because we want people to like us. We want to fit in. We don't want to stand out. There's certain things worth dying for, and that's one of them in my judgment. But it's getting worse and worse and worse.
I believe in God, yeah. I have no proof, but I have faith. And that's one of the missing things. Find somebody who you want to be like and follow what he did. Just like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle did 2,500 years ago. So I modeled very successful people, and that's what the whole program is based on. What you're not taught in school is really the ability to succeed depends on the power of the human spirit. Find somebody that is where you want to be 20 or 30 years from now, and go to him or her now. Not for money, not for anything like that, but I just wanted them to talk to me and to share their wisdom. But you can't stop trying. Find the 5 or 6 guys, or 1 guy that's on the internet that is not telling you bullshit. And there are a few, not many. But most of you are following 3, 5, 7, 10, 12 people. You read 7, 12, 15 books. For the most part, you're listening to people that know how to want to make you feel good for 3, 4, 5, 10 weeks, and then come back and they got an upsell, or an upsell, and a side sell, and a this sell, and a that sell. And all my stuff's free. I've got from teenage multimillionaires, 17, on my site, to the biggest transaction in the history of the world, $500 billion last year by one of my mentees. 500 billion with a B.
When I hear these questions about balanced life, I go berserk. There's life choices and they have consequences, Jack says, which I agree. That's a nice way of saying, but there's no balanced life. You're either all in or you're not.
You are who you hang around with. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. Self-esteem is built the first 7 or 8 years of life. Who are you around the first 7 or 8 years of life? Mom, maybe dad, older brother, uncle, a grandmother, right? What the hell do they know about building self-esteem? They don't know anything. And now, show me your friends, I'll show you your future. Who do you go hang with? Who do you chill with? Bill Gates doesn't hang. Steve Jobs, who I knew, didn't chill. Warren Buffett doesn't hang. Elon Musk doesn't hang. And I can go down the list of people that don't hang. So you've got rich people, right? Most of you aren't hanging, not chilling with those people, are you? Nope. Why? You've got all kinds of reasons why, don't you? I didn't go to school, but that's what I got to say about all those reasons. I didn't either. But somehow I weaseled my way into people richer than that. In a good way. Because it was important to me to change my life. If success was important to you, you would have done something about it by now. But it's not too late. It's never too late. Would you want your kids to be like your best friends, the people you hang with? No. So why are you hanging with them? I cannot believe that there are people in this audience that have never been spanked, never had a harsh word said to them by their parents, never got in a fight on the school grounds. I can't believe that. And you wonder why you are the way you are. Most of you in this room have never been held accountable for anything in your life. And look at the result. You've been in your comfort zone on your sorry asses for years. Why? We do what not our parents tell us to do. We do and did what we saw them do. As I said yesterday, your kids and grandkids aren't going to do what you tell them to do. They're going to do what they see you do. What are you going to tell your grandchildren and your children 20 years from now when the greatest transformation of wealth occurred? What were you doing, Grandpa? What were you doing, Dad? Would you have your thumb up your ass? What are you going to tell them? You had your thumb up your ass. I've never seen a high-performance person that was part-time. Never. In 50 years of business. All these guys I'm about to talk about sleep at their office, just like I did. And I already answered the work-life balance. There are work-life choices and they have consequences.
I had no plan B. Until I was 60 years old, I spent 125% of every fucking dollar I ever made. If I made $1 million, I spent $1,250,000. If I made $10 million, I spent $12.5 million. Okay? 1 year I made $100 million and I spent $125 million. At 60, my wife and I sat down, said, I think we should downsize. And stop all that. And I had a lot of stuff, okay, most of which I didn't use. We had a lot of houses and shit that we never went to. And I don't believe in plan B, because if you have a plan B, you'll use it. But I remember paying the bills, the professional fees that I had, that I couldn't afford to pay for the next 2.5 years, that I contemplated walking away from, but I wound up paying them. But it took me 2.5 years, and the kids today don't want to feel that pain.
Because most people are living quiet lives of desperation because your parents lived quiet lives of desperation and their parents. So you're not alone. I love what I do. Most of you in this audience don't like what you do. 87% of the planet hate what they do. They've checked out. They're just taking up time, waiting for retirement. A number of you have started a business at one time in your life. The first 50,000 or 100,000 euros in your revenue when you start is geometric growth. So everybody that has ever started a business, generated any income, that's geometric growth, because it's starting from ground zero to the first 50, 100. What happens? You stop playing to win and you start playing not to lose. But when you decide that you really want to invoke permanent change, you start playing to win all the time. And nobody preaches that. For the first 30 years of my life, I spent 125% of every penny that I made every year. I was always, as you would say, in debt instead of debt. Why? Because I didn't want any backup. I didn't want any plan B. I either succeeded or died financially. I stopped that when I turned 60. We started getting rid of our assets and turning to cash, except for the castle. So we're all in cash. So I don't spend 125% of what I made since I'm 60. But from the time I was 20 to the time I was 60, I did, which is just the opposite of what the people teach you. There's no compression algorithm for experience. You can't write a program for what I've lived through. None of you whiz kids, computer kids, can write an algorithm for what I've lived through. You come to me when you've tried everything else known to man. I am the last saloon on the last street of the last town before, when the world used to be flat. After me, there is nothing except the abyss. I am hard. Olympic athletes say, you're as hard as my Olympic coach was when I won 2 gold medals. That's the kind of person you want in your life. Not somebody that agrees with you. Not somebody that says, it's all right, you can try again. You're only 26. You've got the rest of your life. That's crap. Now look at all these people in their 30s, 40s. Somebody told them that bullshit 25 years ago. Now look at them. Just look around the goddamn table you're sitting with. Some people will never like me, and I will never give a f***. You worry about what they say. As I told Brian Rose 4 years ago, you have no idea how limitless your life becomes vis-a-vis goals when you don't give a shit what people think, say, or whisper about you. You have no idea.